Hello and welcome to the Jojoestar YouTube channel, everything JoJo anime and manga. It's me again, this time with the JoJo ranking video. Today I will rank all main JoJo's Bizarre Adventure parts from my least favorite to my favorite. This is a hard list to make, however I feel proud over how my list turned out. Remember, this is a subjective list. These are my own opinions, so if you disagree, feel free to leave your own list down in the comments below. This is also not ranking the parts from which I think is the best to the worst. Instead, I'm just ranking them from how much I enjoyed each individual part. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Now let's get right into the ranking. Unsurprising to many, Phantom Blood comes in at our number 8 spot. Many people can agree with me on this ranking, however I have to say that I really enjoyed part 1 when I first experienced it. It has fun characters like Sapelli, Dio, but of course best husbando, Robert E.O. Speedwagon. I think as a starting point of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the Phantom Blood is not bad. However, it is lacking in any interesting battles and compelling villains. It has great memes, so however you look at it, there's a lot to love in this part. Overall, there's not much to say about Phantom Blood, so after rewatching and rereading Phantom Blood a substantial amount of times, I can confidently say that this part is my least favorite in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, so this is a controversial opinion, but I have to give the number 7 spot to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2, Battle Tendency. I love this part, but after rereading it a lot, I just can't enjoy it as much as I did with the latter parts. Without stands, most fights are lacking in the same depth and the villains are hands down the worst in the series. I enjoy side characters like Stroheim, the epic return of Speedwagon, and the Sapelli bloodline. However, I never really grew to appreciate this part as much as I did with the rest. However, I can say that through a strictly story perspective, the Battle Tendency is one of the better stories in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, even though it's shorter than the rest of the parts. Joseph was also my original favorite JoJo, however I started liking him less as I continued reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Number 6 is the most popular part for all the anime onlys, Stardust Crusaders. This is a hard pick for me to make since the Egypt section of this part has multiple of my favorite stand fights in all of JoJo, like Older Darby vs Jotaro, but also Jotaro vs Dio. Main cast is probably the most liked cast, featuring legends in the series like Jotaro, Joseph, but also Polnareff, all of which go on to play substantial roles in future parts of JoJo. Jotaro specifically being my favorite JoJo in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, even though he took a while to grow on me. Rest of the crew is also great, but I have to say that they are a little bit underdeveloped, since Polnareff took a lot of screen time in this part. This is also the first part with stands, which is most likely why I play Stardust Crusaders in this low spot. All of the early fights are rather inconsistent, and in turn less interesting than the latter part stand battles. Fights like Dio vs Jotaro might be in my favorites, however I cannot say that Stardust Crusaders is any better than the rest of the parts featured on this list. Coming in at number 5 is a fan favorite by many, Diamond is Unbreakable. Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable is a great part, however I see many of the same problems that Stardust Crusaders had in this part. Like Stardust Crusaders, Diamond is Unbreakable has a slow beginning and a great second half. However, the first half in this part is actually pretty good compared to Stardust Crusaders. But when character and setting introductions are over, and Yoshikage Kira, one of my favorite villains in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, gets introduced, the real story begins, which it never really slows down again. Josuke is a great JoJo that I personally never really felt attached to. This is most likely because he played a support role in the story, only approaching badass JoJo status when he fought against Kira towards the end of Diamond is Unbreakable. However, after I began drawing JoJo characters, I found a new interest in Josuke, since his character design is one of the best in the series. With personal fan favorite characters like Jotaro and Joseph returning, it is clear why Diamond is Unbreakable is so beloved by many, even though I personally do not enjoy it as much. Alright, number 4. Stone Ocean is a mixed bag. This is true for many, including myself. It has some of the series' highest highs, but also lowest lows. Arcs like the Punishment Ward is not enjoyed by the majority of the fandom, and I can see why. Araki tried to experiment a lot with Stone Ocean. Some things sticked while others flopped. This part has moved a lot in ranking when making this video. At first, I wanted to place Stone Ocean as the worst part featuring stands. However, after some evaluation, I reconsidered this decision. Instead, I place it here, at number 4. There's a lot I want to say about this part, and to be frank, I need to reread Stone Ocean if I want to have a clear opinion about it. It has a great JoJo with Jolene, my favorite version of Jotaro and the reason he became my favorite JoJo. An honestly great ending with amazing artwork by Araki. However, as it stands now, I have to say that it's a very well written part that I dislike, but of course I still love. Well, top 3 everybody, and I guess that Mista is probably happy that part 5 is not placed at number 4, am I right? Golden Wind was my favorite part for the longest time, unbeaten by all other parts. However, after reading the latest parts of JoJo, this changed. But also, I realized the true beauty of this part. I really love this part, if you can already tell. This was before Stone Ocean, and in my opinion Araki's reinvention of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series. This part might not be perfect, which is why it's placed at number 3, but still, it has the best cast, the best dance scene, one of the best fights in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with Bucciarati vs Pesci and Prosciutto, my favorite character in all of JoJo with Bruno Bucciarati, the best song in anime, also the best animated adaptation of all JoJo parts, only rivaled by Stardust Crusaders, and last but not least, hands down the best themes in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The struggle of fighting fate is hard, but seeing these characters stand up for themselves make part 5 an amazing story for me. Don't get me wrong, part 5 is not perfect, however in my eyes it may very well be. But you know, it's not at the number 1 spot. This is because the other parts featured are masterpieces in my eyes, being the true peak of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Number 2 is a big surprise to everyone, it's Steel Ball Run. You expected this one to be number 1, however I fooled you. No, even though I love part 7, it being the closest JoJo has ever been to flawless, I did not like the first 3 volumes as much as I did the rest of the part. However, Steel Ball Run is truly amazing. Araki starting fresh was brave but a smart move since this let his artistic side flow. Steel Ball Run's latter volumes are just beautiful, a testament to why Araki was featured at the Louvre. Many people has praised Steel Ball Run, so I don't think I have to keep going. However, Steel Ball Run has the best written main JoJo, Jo Bro, Jo Fo, but also Jo Ho. Part 7 really set a new standard for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and Araki really had to do something special to be even better than this. And that leaves JoJolion as my number 1 pick. This might be a surprise, however I really enjoyed reading this part. I don't know what about it captured me. From the mystery behind Josuke's identity to what's truly happening in alternate universe Moriocho, really don't see a better part to capture me than JoJolion. I have 2 guesses to why I love JoJolion so much. It is either that I love Josuho, which is the best waifu, you can fight me on this, or it is the fact that Araki made consistently great stands that just got better and better if you exclude Blue Hawaii. All of the stands are great, and it's a real shame that we don't get to see a lot from most of them. JoJolion is not finished yet, so this ranking most likely will change. However, if somehow this part gets even better, then I know JoJolion will be the best JoJo part, even over part 7. Araki always surprises me, and I'm intrigued as much as I'm entranced in his work. Parts like this one is why I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So that was my list. Was I wrong? My list will change, but this is my current stance on all the parts in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.